This next article here is a really fun one. It's an important one. The title is X Energy Begins Construction of the First Category 2 Nuclear Fuel Facility. Kudos to Cam Ghaffarian. Cam is a friend. He's on my board at X Prize. He's the chairman, co-founder of X Energy. And this isn't about creating a new facility, a plant for producing energy like a nuclear plant. It's about creating the nuclear fuel. Something called TRISO, T-R-I-S-O, tristructural isotropic fuel. It's an advanced nuclear fuel, one of the safest and most robust ever created to power the next generation of SMRs. Alex, let's go to you on this.
Yeah, so the headline is Pebble Bed Nuclear is finally happening. After decades of people hand-wringing, when are we going to get Pebble Bed reactors? We're getting Pebble Bed reactors.
What is a Pebble Bed reactor, Alex?
What is a pebble bed reactor? So think of a pebble bed reactor a little bit like a gumball machine, where you have sort of billiard ball sized spheres that have uranium cores or have lots of particles in them with uranium cores surrounded by a carbon ceramic composite. And the basic idea of pebble bed reactor is you have all these billiard balls. They're being heated by radiation from the uranium cores. You pass helium gas through the gumball machine, as it were. The helium gas is heated by radioactive decay, and that powers steam turbine, and that generates electricity. But critically, this is much safer than many other forms of nuclear reactor, because the individual uranium cores are nicely encased, and they, over time, you could imagine sort of this gumball machine where these spheres, these billiard balls, fall over time. They decay. About 3 years of lowering these spheres in one gumball machine, they're offloaded into another and then recycled a few times. But it's these pebbles, these gumballs, if you will, because of the way they're packaged up. And this is what our country's first Cat 2 nuclear fuel facility in the story, that's the announcement here. We're finally manufacturing these pebbles domestically. This is in principle far safer than fuel rod based earlier generations of nuclear reactor.
Yeah, I think one of the key points to make is these don't melt down. They literally cannot melt down as a nuclear reactor, which gave us Fukushima and 3 Mile Island and all of those failed earlier versions. So again, kudos to Cam Ghaffarian. And this is first principle capabilities driving us towards a new generation of nuclear.
It's unfortunate it's taken us this long. My father worked on pebble bed nuclear reactors.
Really?
Yeah, he was working on that in the 80s, and he was going crazy, going, why the hell aren't we using this for everything?
This has been decades. This has literally been decades coming. We spoke in a previous pod episode about thorium reactors, which go back to the Manhattan Project. There are so many concepts for nuclear energy and energy in general that have been sitting on the shelf in some metaphorical sense for decades, if not almost a century, that are finally only now being put out into production.
Wow. It's not often I can see a term for some of these obscure scientific stuff that I recognize, but this one I saw.
Wow. There's a really important point here. AI is the string pulling everything forward.
Yes.
Right? So AI is driving all of the technology we've been thinking about forever. It's driving us into orbit. It's driving us to go back to the moon. It's driving us to build global energy infrastructure.
I prefer the analogy of a gravity well, but I'll go with string.
My modal, just maybe riffing on that point, Peter, modal scenario for the next 10 to 20 years is like most science fiction concepts all happen at once. We're going to live in a future where it's not just like a Star Trek future, not just like an Accelerando future, not just Heinlein or Asimov. They're all going to happen more or less at once in the same universe, our universe, over the next 10 to 20 years.
What you said, Alex, still rings in my mind. We're going to speed run the Star Trek universe in the next decade.
And the Asimov universe, and Heinlein, and Charlie Strauss, all of these are going to happen.
Maybe we need to rename the pod to be Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes. Oh, my God.
I think that one's taken.
But what an exciting time to be alive. This vision of people complaining, I get it. Yes, there are problems on the planet, but also what an extraordinary time to be alive. I mean, when during Earth's history would you ever prefer to be living other than now, other than perhaps tomorrow. Dave, you want to close us out on this one?
I'm just going to repeat Alex's. The innermost loop of humanity is what's driving this. It's AI at the core. It's the innermost loop, and everything around it is accelerating because of that innermost loop. So it's just so exciting to watch.
All right, let's jump into drones and robots.